Have you ever tried to learn something new and think, oh, why is this so boring? Yeah, me too. Like when I was learning Korean, which I still am, there are days that I would rather fold laundry than study vocab and grammar. And that's when I learned. If something feels like a chore, I'll find 100 ways to avoid it. But if I turn it into a challenge, even a small one, then I'm hooked. Just like this bow tie. If I had to tie it perfectly every day, I'd get tired of it. But I made a game of it. How fast can I tie it? Can I do it blindfolded? Spoiler alert. Yes, of course. And suddenly, it's not boring anymore. It's fun. So here's a tip. Take any English activity, reading, listening, vocabulary, and give yourself a timer. Set it for 5 minutes. Your goal, beat the clock. Read as much as you can. Listen without stopping or speak without checking your phone. Short bursts make big gains, and they're way more fun. So today we are going to do that with your English. We'll look at 5 fun daily challenges you can try anytime, anywhere to get better without burning out. Let's actually try to make your English practice the most interesting part of your day. And stick around to the end because I've got a Mastery Minute coming up with one of my favorite English idioms that ties all of this together. And if you've got a question or you want help applying any of the challenges, drop it in the chat and I'll answer a few live right after the Mastery Minute. So let's jump right in. Let me introduce you to Diego. He works in logistics down in Manila, and he told me, I want to improve my English, but after work, I'm just too tired. So I asked him, okay, what do you do at night? He said, I'm scrolling Instagram, watching YouTube, but usually in Tagalog. And so we made one simple change. Turn that habit into a challenge. Every day, Diego picked just one 5-minute video in English. That's the most important part. And he would pause to repeat one sentence out loud. That's it. One sentence. One repeat. Every day. 2 months later, he said his confidence had tripled. He even started helping his coworkers write emails in English. Because I'll be honest, one sentence is never enough. Eventually you're going to go, wow, this is too easy. I can do 2, and then I can do 3. Next thing you know, you'll be repeating the whole video. But the question is, why does it work? Well, simple. Because it wasn't boring. It's not studying textbooks and grammar. It's short, it's fun, it's repeatable. It becomes a habit instead of homework. Pretty good, right? So, how do you turn English from a boring routine into something you actually want to do every day? That's where these challenges come in. You see, they're fast, they're fun, and they're totally flexible. So we're going to break down. Oh, there we go. Fast and fun. Oh, all out of order here. All right, we're going to break down 5 simple challenges that you can start doing today. Each one takes less than 10 minutes. Some of them take less than 5. No textbooks required, no pressure, just small wins that stack up over time. So let's jump into the first one. I call it the 1-sentence shadowing challenge. All right? What do? Well, start by watching a short video, like a TED Talk, or a vlog, or a podcast clip. You can find them on YouTube and X and Instagram and all the other places. So just listen to one sentence, then repeat it out loud. Try to copy everything. Copy everything. You want to get the rhythm, the tone, even the little pauses. You're not just repeating the words, you're copying the music of English. Yeah. Think of your voice as like a musical instrument. Why does this work, though? Imagine learning how to play a song on a musical instrument by ear. You don't need to understand every note. You just need to match the sound. And that's what shadowing does. It builds muscle memory in your mouth and tunes your ear to how real English sounds. So try this. Find a moment in your daily routine when you can speak freely, maybe during a walk, while doing the dishes, or even in the shower. You know, if you're commuting on the subway or something, you can whisper it under your breath. Or pretend you're on a phone call. You got the little earbuds in, pretend like you're talking to somebody. So try one sentence a day. That's all. And bonus points if you record it and play it back. You'll be surprised at how much smoother you get in just a week. Trust me, it'll blow you away. All right, our next one, challenge number 2. Explain it like I'm 5. Now, I love this one. What do? Pick one idea. That's it. Pick a topic, something from your work, the news, your hobby, and then try explaining it in English using only the simplest words, like you're talking to a 5-year-old. Imagine you're sitting down with a child who asks, "What's a startup?" Or "What's AI?" You'd have to break it down using simple language, no jargon. Okay? Give it a shot. You'll be surprised. So why does this even work? Because it forces you to simplify your thoughts and really understand the vocabulary that you do know. It also shows you if you're missing words in your vocabulary so you can fill in the gaps later. So try to say this out loud again while you're walking or cleaning, or write it in a journal. Even better, post it online. You know, share it with your friends. Something like, today's hashtag English challenge. Explain blockchain like I'm 5. It's actually a lot more fun than you think. And you might even get some helpful feedback or maybe some laughs from your friends. I'd love to see it. Share it with me too. I love that stuff. All right, the next challenge is the 3-word journal. How do you write a journal with only 3 words? Well, I'll tell you. At the end of each day, pause and reflect and ask yourself, how did today feel? Then choose just 3 English words that capture your experience. That's it. And then after you do that, then you want to turn them into one short sentence. That's it. It's quick. That's why it works. It's personal because it's reflections of your real life. You're connecting emotion to vocabulary. And again, it'll help you to find words that you may not know. It will help to make the words stick in your brain, especially when you write it down. So you might write the words tired, or let's see, I'm tired and focused and relieved. Those are your 3 words. That's the way today felt. Then say, I was tired all day, but I stayed focused and I felt relieved when I finished my work. Isn't that nice? One short sentence with those 3 words. So that's a tiny moment of reflection that trains your memory and your fluency without pressure. Plus, it's not taking all day. Next up. Yes, I see you there. Hi, excuse me. Oh, I love this one. This one's one of my favorites. So this is the yes and story builder. And what do? You start with a wild or a silly first sentence. Something crazy like, I found a penguin in my office. Then, every day, add just one sentence that continues the story. Don't plan too much. Just kind of go with the flow. Use the idea of yes and. That's a technique that I learned many years ago when I was an actor. It's from improv comedy. It means you agree with what came before. Yes. And then add something new. And. So for example, let's just, okay, yeah, so, for example, I found a penguin in my office. Yes, and it was wearing sunglasses. Yes, and it was holding a cup of coffee. Huh? Things can quickly get a little out of hand, so it's kind of fun. So why does this work? It gets your brain thinking in English without pressure. Remember, there's no right answer, just your imagination. You stop worrying about grammar and start having fun with the language. It also helps you to build conversational flow, encouraging quick thinking, which comes in handy in those conversations, and spontaneous creativity. These are golden skills in real conversations. So try this. Do it as a voice memo, or better yet, message a friend who's also learning English, and then you can take turns. One day you write a line, and then your friend writes a line to continue the story. The next day, repeat. It's funny, it's light, and it keeps you coming back for more. So, if you're doing it solo, challenge yourself to add one new sentence each day for a week and see how far your story goes. And if you're not sure how to start, try searching online. You can search for fun story starters or use a random prompt generator. You can find those online as well. You can also grab the first sentence from a children's book or a comic strip, or we're in the 2025, use an AI assistant to give you something silly, like, I don't know, a dinosaur just walked into the grocery store, and bam, there's your instant inspiration. All right, the last challenge that we have is the screenshot and speak trick. All right, screenshot and speak. So first thing you should do is, next time you see a short post on social media or an article on your phone, screenshot it. Later, when you have a minute, read it out loud. Then, without looking, try to say what it was and what it was all about in your own words. So, why does this work? It's like a mini workout for your brain. You're practicing pronunciation, memory, and summarizing all at one time. Plus, because the content is real and current, and you chose it, you're building the kind of English that you actually use. So, try this. Use a product review, or a funny tweet, or a quote from a news story. And you can try it anytime, while you're waiting for your coffee or right before bed, it doesn't matter. And you'll start to see the world around you as an English classroom, really. All right, so let me recap it very quickly because we're running out of time. All right, keep it short. That's the main thing. You want to make your English practice short and repeatable. Make it fun. Use fun and creative triggers, silly stories, screenshots, 3-word reflections. All of those things will be a lot of fun. And then build on your momentum. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to be consistent. So you really don't have to study English for hours to improve. You just need the right challenges and a little consistency. You can think of these like little tiny stepping stones to the fluency that you want. There's no pressure here, no tests, no cramming, just small, smart habits that help you feel more confident a little bit each day. You've already got what it takes. Just keep showing up and your English will take care of the rest. All right? And guess what time it is? It's time for your challenge. Here is your challenge. I want you to pick one of today's 5 ideas and try it tonight or in the morning. Just one. And if you've got a question or you want to share what you're going to try, drop it in the chat and I'll answer a few right after the Mastery Minute coming up. And if you liked this episode, do me a favor. Give it a like. Share it with someone who needs a little motivation. And you can check out the full article at allaboutenglishmastery.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the free newsletter for more ideas that make learning fun again. And now it's time for the Mastery Minute. And today's idiom is get into the groove. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Get into the groove? Well, what does it mean to get into the groove? I'll tell you, it means to fall into a smooth rhythm or to feel comfortable doing something after a slow or an awkward start. You know, for example, you might say, hold on, I just dropped my mouse. You might say, it's been a long week, but things started to get better as I got into the groove. You know, it took me a few weeks, but I finally got into the groove of studying again. Yeah, it's a good one. The phrase itself comes from the golden age of vinyl. Have you ever listened to a vinyl record and you put it on the turntable and it spins there? Each those records have these tiny grooves and it goes all the way around to mark the surface. The needle has to land right in that groove. And when it does, that's the magic, because the music plays smoothly and steadily. But if it slips out of the groove, forget it. It's out of the groove. So you get static or nothing. So when we say get into the groove, we're talking about finding that flow, the rhythm, where everything starts to feel natural. So, and that's what happens in English. At first, it's awkward, clunky, you might miss a beat, but if you keep practicing one sentence at a time, you'll find your groove, and once you do, that's when your learning really starts to sing. And on that note, I want to say next time we are going to talk about compliments and how to respond naturally and confidently when someone says something nice about you. So whether you're shy or unsure what to say, I'll show you how to keep the conversation going and not make it awkward. You're not going to want to miss this one. I know people get a little bit nervous about compliments. I don't know what to say. All right, we're over time, so it's a little more than 15 minutes, but I want to thank you for joining me on 15-Minute Mastery. Remember, English doesn't have to feel like a mountain to climb. With the right habits, it can feel like a dance, one small step at a time. I'll be back again Wednesday night, same time, for our next episode. And until then, keep showing up, keep speaking up, and keep getting into the groove. See you next time.